Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the No Hype Zone. I am Seth, and unfortunately Lance cannot be here today, so we have our friend James here to fill in for him. We are actually in his man cave right now. The camera is fixed, so you can't really see everything. A whole bunch of paraphernalia for the Browns and the Indians and Ohio State. James is from Cleveland, so he was nice enough to let us film at his spot today. As you can see here, big Ohio State nerd, which is great, right up my alley, because as you guys know, that I'm also a big Ohio State nerd. So we're just here to talk some sports as usual for episode 9. And then James,
thanks for having me on.
Of course. And as you can see, he's speaking into a mic over there because
we are doing kind of a dual podcast situation here. I'm setting up in the man cave my own weekly podcast in regards to sports, entertainment, all kinds of stuff like that. So next couple months you'll be able to catch that. James out west on YouTube and on the Twitter. And sometimes I say some hilarious stuff and sometimes I sound like an idiot. So feel free either way to come and enjoy in my playground.
There you go. I like it. Also want to point out, look at this Wheaties box. How old is this man?
Probably like 1990.
1990. Look at this. Michael Jordan. This got to be older than that because he has hair in his head in this one.
Yeah.
I think. Holy crap.
So that's the price on the top. If you look at it, I think it was like $2.95, something like that.
$2.75.
There you go.
Holy cow. And look, it's still, the Wheaties are
There's
still
a
in
poster
there.
in it too.
Dang, man. That is so cool. And we got a autographed helmet of Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome, Hall of Famer.
There you go. All right, so episode 9 here. We're going to start out. Let's talk baseball first.
Okay.
We've
First
had,
week of the baseball season. It's
Yeah.
been entertaining.
Always. I know baseball can be slow to some people, but I like the nuance of baseball. I'm learning more nuance with our friend Patrick, who's on the show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, fantastic.
We also have a guy named Dennis, who's a baseball agent,
Oh.
who comes and trains at our
Okay.
studio. So he's always fun to talk
Agent
to.
in swole.
Yes. Well, he's like 38 or 39 years old. You know, we always say, hey, he's trying to like get back into the swing of things. Like, hey, he's going to get a call up someday from somebody, you know. So he played at ASU back in the day.
Okay.
So he's always fun to talk to.
When did he play at ASU?
If he's 38 or 39, it's got to be 20 years ago.
Okay, I wonder if he knew Brody Stevens.
He might have.
Brody was a pitcher for ASU back in the day, turned comedian.
Okay.
Hilarious guy. Unfortunately, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he took his life. Not to bring up and dampen the party, but it was. He's with the Cubs a lot. He was seen.
Okay.
You see Madden wearing the 818 shirts and all that stuff. That's all for Brody because he was a part of like their locker room, their clubhouse. He was made all the guys laugh. Very involved in baseball.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know if
He
Dave
knows
knows him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Also, speaking of baseball, we have. You can't see it right now, but we have Toronto and Cleveland in the background right here. It looks like it's 1-0 Cleveland, top of the second.
And I gotta be honest,
Toronto.
I like the new unis. The Indians went away from Chief Wahoo, unfortunately.
Yeah, I see that.
Which I understand. It's it's a new day. But these red unis with the white pants are
You like that?
clean.
Yeah.
I do like them. I like them a lot.
All right. Oh, just letter C on it now instead of.
Yeah, just the block
Are
C.
you a fan of losing Chief Wahoo?
Well, so they're not going to wear them on the unis, but they'll still sell it.
Okay.
So you can still go in a team shop or go online and get your Chief Wahoo. You can still get a jersey with the logo on it. They're just not going to represent it at the games.
What's your hype on that?
I mean, it seems like the people that have a problem with it are not Native American.
I find the same thing too.
I understand the Washington football team.
Do you call them that now? You don't call
Yeah,
them
I don't call them
Redskins?
the Redskins. Well,
Okay.
I just did, but I mean, I typically don't call them the Redskins.
Yeah.
But it seems like they don't really care. Now, yeah, way back in the day, the logo was very offensive.
Okay.
They cleaned it up a bit, but it's more about the heritage of the Cuyahoga, of the Native Americans that actually flourished through Ohio, through Illinois. Like you have the Chicago Blackhawks, right?
Right.
They have a beautiful look. They're paying homage to it. They did a hell of a lot better job than that.
Okay.
Cleveland Indians have, but at the same time, it's not meant to be in any way a disrespect, and I think it's just
Right,
too far
right.
gone to go change it now.
Yeah.
The Redskins could do a rebrand. God damn, I said it again. They could do a rebrand. You know,
Yeah.
the Washington Generals, the Washington politicians, a bunch of crooked team anyways. So
there you go.
it could work.
There
I
you
think
go.
that they
Yeah.
could do a rebrand.
Yeah. Okay.
Where I don't think with this you don't mess with baseball's heritage and history is something you don't mess with. Where football people that can happen. Basketball that can happen. You don't mess with baseball.
Well, that's also a topic that Lance and I have been talking about with baseball. just we were talking about, in the pre-show and the set, it was like, hey, all these guys in football, you score a touchdown, you can celebrate. Basketball, you hit a three-pointer, so you got all these guys,
which is getting a little
doing
ridiculous.
all this stuff, right? I saw Westbrook the other day going like a baby. Okay, bro. But like in baseball, it's like you hit a home run, I have to be stoic and run around the base path. I can't do anything. Whereas the other day, as we saw Bryce Harper hit a Harper bomb.
Huge bat flip.
Yes.
Oh, in
Did you
DC,
like that?
which was beautiful. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
His first game back, and it's like right away. They're like, oh, you leave, you're gone forever. He's gonna be an old man when he's done with this contract.
Yeah, 13 years, man.
You know what?
No opt-out, no trade clause.
And I have no problem with it because I was thinking about it. Look at the Manny Machado. He did a 10-year, right?
Right.
And he got $30 million less.
Mm.
So it's like, well, is that 3 years? That's only $10 million a year. But I think the way it's broken down for Bryce is it's like 24.5 every year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So even those last 3 years, he's going to be making $25 million a year, where Machado won't be in the league.
Think so?
Yeah, I think 10 years from now, Machado may be on a team in the AL
Yeah.
because he could maybe be a DH. But 10 years from now,
Yeah.
how old is he?
He's young, so I think he's got to be 25, 26, I want to say.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I think Bryce made the better choice because he took the long term, the more money.
Okay.
If both of them get injured tomorrow, who's making more money?
True.
Done forever. Who's
Yeah.
making more money?
Yeah. And it's like those contracts are guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I mean, they can break their leg or they could sever.
I don't understand
They can lose their leg.
guaranteed contracts.
And then, right?
When football doesn't have, and I understand it, football's maybe not have a guaranteed contract because you've got higher propensity for injury, and they do.
Yes.
And things we don't hear about are there's insurance in the language of the contract.
Mm.
So a guy gets injured, he gets cut, they're going to settle with him, or
Right.
he's got X amount of money he's going to make based on what his contract stated.
Right.
And that's where you're seeing more of these guys like Kirk Cousins, $90 million fully guaranteed.
But here's a problem I have with that, though.
Fully guaranteed.
Is that they give these quarterbacks all this big money, then you can't pay the rest of the team because of the salary cap.
Not Brady.
That's why he took a pay cut again this year, for like the 8th time in his career.
It's not really taking a pay cut. He's getting all of his money. They're just reallocating it to bonus.
But
reallocating it to so the salary on the contract of the year. When he got suspended and lost his 4 games, they redid his contract, so he only lost like $250,000 as opposed to losing out like $7 million. And I know my numbers are off, so
Right.
you guys are
Right.
gonna roast me for not having the numbers right. But
It's okay.
you get the point. He
Yeah.
still gets his money, so the NFL Players Union can't be upset with him because he's not setting a good precedence for the next guys.
Yeah.
Because that's what I see Baker doing. Baker going, I want to keep the band together. I
Yes, I like that.
want to be able to do this. I want to be the next Brady. Me and
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens could be that,
Mhm.
potentially if we can go on a run. But I can't make $200 million when my contract's due.
Right.
It can't happen. So it just depends on where you're at. Do you want the race? Look at Russell Wilson. That team's going to be in a real shit show in about 3 years if they don't. They're paying him and nobody else.
Right.
You're going to hope you draft so well those guys want to stay.
Well, that's the thing. You got to have guys around you. Aaron Rodgers is taking $33 million a year, and that's a huge ding to the salary, and you can't pay anybody else. And so now he's going to be complaining, "Oh, hey, I have all these rookie, receivers on my team who aren't on the same page, who don't know what they're doing." And then we're going to come across again and say, "Oh, hey, Aaron is, he thinks he's better than everybody else." There's a thing out this week with him and McCarthy. There's a report on Bleacher Report, about like the relationship and whatnot. Yeah, right. I know we're kind of getting off topic right now, which is great. We can go. Let's stick with this. Let's keep going with the NFL.
We'll round back to baseball.
We'll come back to baseball in a little bit.
It's a slow game.
Yes.
It's got
Yeah.
It's got time.
Yeah. So with the whole football thing, shoot. So we're just talking about Aaron Rodgers and all these contracts and whatnot. Let's go back to your Browns. Let's get into the hype with your Browns for a second here.
So you're gonna let me be in the hype zone for a second?
Well, you gotta do both. Let's
Okay.
give us your hype and then give us your no hype on what you think.
So
I'll give you my take.
my hype.
Yes.
Didn't want Baker.
Okay.
Didn't want him. Didn't know who I wanted, but I just know I didn't want that guy. He planted
Okay.
the flag, which I'm wearing on the shirt today. The flag planting, I've forgiven him.
Yeah.
He's okay. I think they made all the right moves.
Wait a second. Talk about the flag planting at Ohio State.
At Ohio State.
Yeah. When he was
We
with
were actually
Oklahoma.
together. We were at Cheeseburger Cold Beer
Yeah.
with some friends,
Yeah.
watching Oklahoma, Ohio State, and we all know what happened.
Uh-huh.
And afterwards, Baker came running out and he planted the flag. And I remember there,
Mhm.
not being all that upset about it because I love wrestling and it was like a total heel wrestling move.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, he's like Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, gonna plant the flag. He went crazy. I loved it.
Yeah.
Now that he's with us, he's one of those guys you hate him if he's not with you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't like my brother-in-law Patrick thinks he's a complete douche. Will not give him a chance at all because I don't like the way he dances and he handles himself and it's.
Or like grabbing his crotch against Kansas.
Did he make some mistakes? Sure. We vilified everybody in the '80s that we love. Dan Marino, old. Cocaine Dan. There's a lot to that. Go back and read the story. It's out there.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
This is the first time.
That's why he didn't get drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro.
Really?
The owner said, no, we don't want him here. They already knew. They were like, oh, Miami's a fine place for him. Yeah. A lot of Steelers fans hold.
Oh, it makes sense.
Hold them against. Yeah, Miami was the thing. It was the 80s.
Yeah.
He was cocaine cowboy Dan Marino. Yeah.
I did not know that. That is news to me.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just speaking facts. That's a legit thing.
I'm going to look that up once we're done with the show. I'm looking that up.
So, but to get back to it, they did the right thing by bringing these guys in and saying, we can do this here. Why not us?
Right.
The team has been in shambles since they left, right? They had one good year.
Right.
They drafted the first offensive lineman in NFL history, Joe Thomas. I say the first because that's what they called him, even though he's
I'm sad he's
surefire.
He's awesome.
He said he would come back in a heartbeat. If his body could play, he would play. He didn't retire because of it. He couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I would love to see him be a part of this run, whatever it's going to be. So again, being in the hype, didn't want them, was like same old Browns, and they changed. Now everybody's like half-heartedly, as Browns fans, are waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I keep telling them it's not going to. It's a new team. This is a new coach, a new organization, a new GM, essentially a new owner. Everything is new. So we can't hold on the last 17 years of the shit show we've been showing as a reason to think that we're not going to be successful now. Well, that's unacceptable.
There's my hype on the Browns. I've been, ever since they signed Odell Beckham Jr., right? Everyone's like, oh my God, they got Beckham Jr., they're going to be this awesome team. I say, everyone hold off, pump the brakes. Here's my no hype zone take on this, is that if you were to put the Browns, every player in the Browns, and put them in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, what would you be saying?
That team's going 13-3.
That's what I'm saying, right? But now because they have a Browns uniform, it's like, they're the Browns. Let the season play out. Let them do what they got to do. I say the same thing about. I don't want to say this team's name. Actually, I'm not going to give them the credence. I don't want to talk about it right now, because in my hype, I can't stand them. They're one of the teams that I hate in the NFL. But I want to see the Browns this year. I want to watch them play. I want to see how Freddie Kitchens, who I feel like is like an interim. He's like a rented coach. He's never coached before. Is he going to be able to handle all these egos on there? Do you think?
Absolutely, because he's a real one. He's what you would call a real one. He was the starting quarterback at Alabama for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, Fat Freddie Kitchens, and that's what they called him. They made fun of him in college. He's a legend in Alabama.
Okay.
Like, walks on water. Like, he is royalty down there. He played in the early 90s.
Okay.
So, Freddie knows game. Freddie knows he's got a swag about him.
Okay.
So he can definitely relate. If you go back and you see that all mic'd up and you see Baker and him, and he walks up to Baker and he like grabs his chin hair, and he walks away, and Baker just looks at Drew Stanley and goes, that dude's an idiot. And he says it with love.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a match made in heaven for the both of them because they're going to come up together.
Right.
They're not going to be Belichick is Belichick, and then he had brought Brady. Now we have is it this one or this one? These guys will be, if it goes the way they're expecting it to, tied together for a very long time.
Yeah.
If you're growing together at the same pace, and you don't have that where Mike McCarthy kind of overstood on Aaron Rodgers because he was, already an established coach, so to speak.
Right.
He's always going to have that over him. They have to be a partnership. It has to be a 50-50 nowadays.
Right.
For it to be successful in the NFL. It just has to be.
I hope that they are successful. I'm kind of sick and tired of, the Browns, like, they suck. They're just everyone's doormat. Like,
it's a narrative. Everybody's puppets. Everybody's a bunch of parrots. They're just repeating the old stuff. Colin Cowherd, that troll. That's all he does.
That's my boy. I love Colin Cowherd, man.
Oh, he loves Ohio State. He does not love the Browns. He actually questioned. We don't know if Freddie Kitchens can call a play. Are you joking? He called the last 8 effing games.
Okay.
He called the plays.
See, that's why we need to hear it out of your mouth because you follow this stuff.
Yeah, he's called the plays. He knows what he's doing. They use the same playbook that Todd Haley had there.
Okay.
The same playbook.
Okay.
They look at what they did. Hugh Jackson couldn't get that out of them. Now you're gonna give him a full season. I think Hugh's great with individuals, not with the team.
Okay.
He let his ego get in the way, unfortunately, and that happens. And he even kind of been on Twitter, said something about your ego, and he didn't say it was him, but it was very much a self-realization, hopefully, for himself. If he wants to get back in the game, because this was a very, very dark time for his career.
Dang.
It was
Poor
really,
guy.
I know, I feel bad.
What's his record? Wasn't it like 3 and like 47 or something like
it's
that?
Not
I'm
even,
throwing
it's,
out
I don't
arbitrary
even
numbers.
want to mention it. It was
Yeah,
so bad.
that's too bad.
It was, but
People like him. Like he's a
yeah,
lucky
I was
dude.
excited. I was like, yes, we got a guy that knows how to play, call plays. He's going to do well. And I bought into it because that's what we do as Browns fans.
Yeah.
Well, that's now we've become jaded that they're like, oh, I don't know. We could falter or like counter. I don't know if we can do this. Are you guys joking? Like, well, they're going to take some time to get on a page. It's not like Baker and Jarvis and Odell haven't been throwing the ball together since 2 summers ago.
Really?
They've been working out in LA for a while. That's why when Odell, he's like, that's one of our really good friends. We've
Really?
been talking about this for a couple of years. Not so much like we talked about it all the time, but it was like, it'd be so awesome if we could play together.
Yeah.
Odell was catching balls from Eli Manning. Eli
He is so bland.
He is, and look, he won 2 Super Bowls, so he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And there's still, I feel like the Giants are still riding that.
He's
in
not
it for him right now. Like he's not the same guy.
And
Not the
he
same
really
guy.
wasn't even that great. I mean, I honestly think Phil Simms with the Giants was probably better than Eli Manning with the Giants.
Okay.
Phil Simms is not a Hall of Famer,
He's not.
and he won't. be.
Really?
Eli will be because he got 2 Super Bowl rings, but his brother and his father have clout. They are the supreme royalty family of the NFL.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
and rightfully so. 3 number 1 picks, 3 bad A quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Eli's like the leftovers. Like he was like the leftovers. So now Odell had to make those ridiculous catches because the ball was all over the place. What's he gonna do when Baker's
that's
putting
your
it
type.
on the money?
Okay.
All these things that there's not enough ball to go around. That's bull. That's bull.
I've been hearing that a lot too, and
That's
like
cool.
and trying to manage all those egos as well. Because I feel like if Odell is the kind of guy, if they win the game, but Odell gets like 2 catches for 14 yards, he's like, oh crap, man, that's crap.
He addressed that in his press conference.
Did he?
specifically.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
We learn and love to block. And he goes, you know how many times
Odell said
he
that.
You know how many times at LSU I would have 3 catches for 30 yards and we would win, and I was just as happy. It's about winning. It's about our brothers. It's about everybody being on the same page, doing it for one another. He's like, Jarvis took me out. We break in the facility at midnight and catch balls in the jugs till 2 in the morning.
I respect that.
He's like, we go out there and we dedicate ourselves to block. We want to be the best at everything we can do. And now he gets to play with his best friend. You saw the commercial, the Nike commercial.
I've heard about it. I didn't see it.
Oh my goodness, it will make you cry.
I'll
It's
have to
amazing
YouTube that.
because you see that they are brothers by choice, and it's a real bond. And then, oh by the way, their position coach is the same position coach they had at LSU the last 2 years.
Really?
Adam Henry is their guy. Adam Henry was also the coach with the Giants a couple years ago with Odell. So he's got his boys. He's got a crew. And here's the thing. Baker can flow with those guys. Baker can go hang with those guys. They can have barbecues together. They go on vacation together. That's not happening with Eli Manning.
Yep.
It's not happening with Eli Manning. There's nothing wrong with that. They're just 2 different cats.
True.
Now when you have this, when we talk about butting heads, who's butting heads? When you're all on the same page, there's no butting heads. Look at Pittsburgh.
That was a mess.
They
That was a
all
drama show.
butt
whole
heads
season,
with
man.
Big Ben, right?
Yeah, apparently.
If Big Ben was Cam Newton, if Big Ben was Lamar Jackson, well, I can't say Lamar under his throws.
Right.
If Big Ben was
Phillip Rivers.
Russell Wilson, Phillip Rivers, that's a good one. But any of those guys that they transcend that, they're gonna respect it. They don't respect that. Now you're butting heads. Who's making more money? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And frankly, I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing them.
Yes, because they're in your division.
And I respect the Steelers organization. They've
course.
had 3 coaches their entire life. We've had 3 coaches in 5 years. I mean, the run that they had and being able to do what they've done, Bill Cowher got that job there because the Browns didn't hire him, and they called him and said, you need to hire Bill Cowher. We didn't hire him. We went with Bill Belichick. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
It would have turned out fine if we wouldn't have moved.
Gotcha.
If we wouldn't have moved, the Ravens fired him. Misconception. Everyone thinks the Browns fired
The
Bill
Ravens
Belichick.
fired
The
Belichick.
Ravens fired Bill Belichick when they moved because he said, I'm not going. So they fired him. So the Browns didn't fire him.
You heard it first, guys.
So there's a
I
lot
don't
of
think
things
it-
out there
I
that's
didn't know
just
that.
narrative that people just repeat because that's what they hear instead of saying, okay, this is what it is. So
Fake news, everybody.
Yeah, the fake news. Wrong.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. There you go.
So now in the height,
Yes.
my realistic, in the height, they're 13-3.
Okay.
They're the 1 seed and they're in the Super Bowl.
Now give us your no hype.
12-4. The 2 no
13-3 to 12-4 and your no hype?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's the difference between the 1 seed and the 2 seed.
Okay.
They'll be the 2 seed, maybe the 3. They're gonna host a playoff game.
Wait, are you sure? 12-4.
12-4.
That's your no
That's
hype.
my no hype.
Are
12-4.
You have your Browns hat off.
I'm wearing an Indians hat.
I know that. I know.
We're at 12-4.
Okay.
We don't know the schedule, but we know who they play and where.
Right.
They should go 12-4.
Okay.
Now that's room for a game to go here or there.
Sure.
Not that I'm saying, but that's me giving them a game going 12-4. They could be 13-3. They realistically have a legitimate schedule to do these things if they play to their potential, which they should. They're a new team. It's a new era. It's a new situation.
Yeah.
Everything in the past does not matter. Last season matters because the bulk of the players from last year are still here.
Right.
When I'm more hyped about the NFL schedule release than I am the draft, it's a new day for the Browns.
We have 3 weeks on the draft. I think 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a whole draft show. Yes.
I would have been knees deep into the draft by now. We'd have been talking about everything. I don't care. Best player available. I've never been able to say that. Best player available.
What did the Browns pick?
49.
Really?
They traded the first round pick for Odell.
That's right.
And I'll take it.
That's right. The
I'll
Giants
take
had like 2 picks in the first, 2 or 3 picks.
And now there's a chance we trade Duke Johnson and we get back into the first by moving to second if they want to do that.
But if you have the pieces already, like why?
We're not fitting. We don't need to fit much. We just signed Morgan Burnett. We're just tidying in little pieces. Like we don't need 10 picks. We're not going to have 10 rookies. Won't make this team. We'll be lucky if 5.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a legit squad. They saw that we're going to take 2 years to build, and then they saw David Baker and they go, we're doing this now.
Good for them. There you go. Browns minutia.
Yep.
Right there. That is crazy, man.
And I don't want to hear this. What if by week 6 they're a dumpster fire? They're not the Philadelphia Eagles when they signed everybody. Vince Young's dream team. They're not Deion Sanders going to the Washington Redskins.
I remember that.
They're not any of that. They're not. This is a completely different situation, and it's fate. John Dorsey, it's fate. He's a football player.
Wasn't he with Green Bay or
he was a Green Bay guy
Kansas City?
in Kansas City, so he was in Green Bay first.
Yep.
He was a part of drafting Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he
was
was the guy who was like Baker reminds me of Brett Favre.
Yep. He
Everyone's
drafted
like, really?
in Kansas City. He drafted Pat Mahomes. He drafted Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt. He drafted all those guys. He drafted Eric Berry. Let's not forget
Week
things
8,
that
Kareem
he's
Hunt
done.
comes back.
Yep, 8 weeks.
Yep.
Wait until you see, and he knows that, man. He knows that he made a mistake, but we're not going to vilify him. If you saw the video, it should never happen. Should never be in that situation.
Yeah.
But when you actually see it, it was not what I thought it was going to be. It was not Ray Rice, Mike Tyson's punch out, dragging around the elevator.
Yeah.
It was he ran over to and kind of gave her like a little sidekick, like I can't believe you called me that name.
I know,
And
but
you
still can't.
But that's
you still can't
why.
do that, yeah.
That's why I think it's going to be okay because
Right.
it's like okay, we've seen what it was.
Mhm.
It was made to be a lot worse than it is. The whole Tyreek Hill situation now. That could be different because it's domestic violence with a child, and that kid's
Yeah,
got
I
a
heard
broken
about
arm.
that.
I don't
I
know
haven't heard
anything
anything
else. I
else
can't speak on it, but that's a concern.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time. Remember, he's
Yes.
not in the program. It wasn't vilified because what he did was in college, and it was years prior.
Right.
You know, people make mistakes. I'll never understand that. They're in a violent game, head trauma.
Mhm.
I can't blame that as being a reason. It should never be an excuse or a reason, ever.
I agree.
But trying to understand the reasoning, what could have pushed him to that point, I think a lot of it probably has to do with the violence of the sport, their upbringing. I can't speak on, I'm
Right.
generalizing.
Yeah.
So forgive me if I'm wrong, but that team's going to be fun to watch. They're probably going to
Yeah.
have 4 or 5 primetime games.
I hope so.
They won't be week 1, Sunday night against New England. That will
Right.
not happen. They're going to try to set them up for success.
I
You don't
hope
want
so,
to feed
man.
them to the lion right away.
Right. I hope so, just also because of this. Like a changing the guard. Like the last 20 years in the NFL, there's been like 4 quarterbacks win the Super Bowl in the AFC. It's
Yeah.
like Big Ben has been there 3 times. Got
Brady.
Brady's been there 8 times. You've got
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's got 1.
But he went to 2, right? Didn't they go to 2?
Went to 1.
He went to 1.
Yeah, he went to 1 in 2012,
There
and
you
they
go.
went to 1 like 2000.
Way back then,
and,
yeah.
1. He wasn't there.
Trent Dilfer.
And then you've got Peyton Manning. He's been to 4, I
Yeah,
think.
4, and they won.
So basically,
2.
it's been Brady, it's been Big Ben, it's been Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton.
Peyton.
That's it.
Like the last 20 years. So
It's
I
gotta
want to
change.
see somebody
And it's
new.
going to. It's going to
I
be.
hope so.
It's going to be in the next 5 to 7 years, in no particular order. Baker Mayfield, Pat Mahomes.
I like
Andrew
Mahomes, man.
Luck.
He's fun to watch.
Andrew Luck. I think those 3 teams have an absolute. And depending on Houston and what they can get, you may see Houston in an AFC Championship game with Deshaun Watson. Those are the guys that are going to represent the AFC
I hope so, man.
for the next
Yeah.
10 years.
Good. Because they're fun to watch,
Brady will
man.
be gone.
And you need to change in the guard as well.
You do.
Yep.
It's time, and
Yep.
they did a great job for a long time. Like Peyton's an all-time great. Like we weren't just being the AFC wasn't cannon fodder to the NFC. You know, we wouldn't
Right.
have all this. It was back and forth because the NFC's got quite a few too.
Yeah.
But it's not multiples. It's Nick Foles got one. It's Russell Wilson got one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I'm trying to think. Like Cardinals went there for one season.
yeah, they went and got robbed. They did. Cam Newton went to one. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. I think the AFC is going to be on the right side of history for a while here.
I remember back when I was younger, NFC had won like 15 Super Bowls in a row.
Yep.
Being a Bills fan, you know, we lost 4 in a row.
Hey, and Bills Mafia is helping out the Browns right now on Twitter because Fox NFL put out a Twitter poll for Browns for best NFL fans. They did like a March Madness breakdown.
Yeah.
Put all the teams in. Somehow it ended up Browns against the Titans.
The Titans are fans? The Titans, good fans?
The Titans beat the Bills because some of their fans literally bought Twitter bots and voted. Yeah, so we reached out to the Bills brethren because Buffalo Bills and Browns fans are very close. We're very tight.
Yep.
Just up the street from one another, so to speak.
Yep.
Very similar background, cities.
Mistake by the lake.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yep.
So we get each other. We root for each other when we're not playing each other. Like Buffalo Bills fans and Browns fans never have a problem.
Right.
Respect to Bills Mafia. They're out voting for us now. They're out voting for us and we're smoking them.
Okay.
Now, we don't need to win this to be, but it just shows the power of Cleveland fan base. We got Peyton Hillis on the cover of Madden.
Peyton Hillis, remember him?
We got him on the cover of
Yeah,
Madden. Browns
man.
fans are powerful. So, you saw what happened when Baker won a Thursday night game to unleash the Bud Lights. What's it going to be like when he wins a playoff game? They're going to be like, LeBron who? Like, the city of Cleveland doesn't care you left, bro. We don't care. We are happy to see you squalor in LA playing basketball drunk on vino.
Really?
I'm fine
You're
with
mad
that.
at LeBron?
Oh, I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm okay, be gone.
Okay.
It literally doesn't bother me at all because we've got Baker. And the Cavs are actually fun to watch. I went and seen them play the Suns. They got smoked by 40. But it was fun to watch the other guys.
Isn't it crazy how the Cavs get a zero hype now on any of the major networks because
he's
LeBron's
gone.
not there?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is
was
so
like
crazy.
That was like the first time.
It was like Cleveland was like the main basketball hub for a while there when LeBron was there. It was crazy. He's like a circus, wherever he goes, like a circus tent. He brings it with him.
But
It's
not in
crazy.
LA. He's just LeBron in LA. The circus is already there. Everybody's got a circus. Everybody's got a posse. Everybody's got a crew. Everybody's got it. He comes strolling in there with a bad groin and a glass of wine. I'm pretty sure he was playing drunk. I've heard this theory from a few people.
Really?
Some of the stuff is so unordinary for him. He lets the ball roll up at second quarter. It's like 24 seconds of shot clock. He lets it roll all the way up, doesn't look at anybody, and hucks up a brick three for no reason.
I didn't see that.
Like just let it, or he let it roll, and he
Yeah.
went to go pick it up, and he fumbled it out of bounds. Like uncoordinated
So
ass.
you're saying-
Like what happened?
You're saying he was drunk?
I'm thinking he's been on the vino. He come on with a hangover, bro. Just a little You know
Okay.
how a wine hangover can be? You're a little loopy, uncoordinated. I think he came with a mad wine hangover and tried playing I'm LeBron James, and he looked like Rick James.
You're going conspiracy theory here on us.
I don't know if it's
Okay.
conspiracy. I saw him walk into a game holding a glass of wine, not playing. What's to say he wasn't doing that before the game? Hey, a lot of players said they smoked weed before games. NBA especially. Allen Iverson, not that it's I don't know how people can function playing at an elite level like that, but maybe because they're that elite, it slows the game down for them. It helps them, or the aches and pains, as opposed to being all hyped up on pain pills. Allen Iverson playing way bigger than he was.
Yep.
You know, Allen Iverson played 6'7". He was barely 6'1", 6'2", whatever. Yamming on people. Just it was an incredible athlete. Willing the 76ers, like LeBron willed that crappy Cavs team in 07. He willed that 76ers to them and got a game.
Mm-hmm.
And got a game.
Against LA, I think that was
Against
0-1.
LA, stepping over Teron Lue. Like, they got,
Yeah.
and that was,
Remember that?
he willed a victory. He basically manifested his own destiny. Right now, I'm going to get one. And he's an all-time great. He doesn't have a ring. Nobody cares. People give Charles Barkley so much crap. He didn't get a ring. Karl Malone didn't get a ring. No one's ever going to give Allen Iverson anything for not getting a ring.
Yeah.
He got him there when they shouldn't have been there. It's incredible what an athlete can do. So I think LeBron is at the point where he can will anything to happen. He pretty much has his whole life.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have that luxury. It's not the case anymore. He thought, oh, I can put together a trash roster and win because that's what I've done in Cleveland. Well, it doesn't work that way.
But he's got no shooters with him.
He's got nobody in LA.
And half the team's injured as well.
Lance
Lonzo's
Stevenson,
out.
Rondo, JaVale
Well, playoff Rondo's
McGee.
actually good. He's a smart, cerebral player.
But here's the thing, he's not going to bow down to LeBron. So the first time LeBron tries to treat him like Paul Pierce tried to treat him, he ain't going to...
Paul Pierce hates LeBron, by the way.
Paul Pierce hates everybody. Did you hear Paul Pierce talk about, oh, it's easy, I had a better career than Dwayne Wade? Easy. He goes, oh, that's easy, that's me. He's like, you joking? He's like, give me LeBron. Give me this and that. He's like, they gave you Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. Well, that ain't the same.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, it's the same.
Yeah.
You're just a hater because you were a very, very good basketball player. You won championship. One. Played in
09.
Either way,
yeah.
doesn't feel like he gets the respect he was going to get. You know why? It's because of the aura he puts out. He puts that haterade out there, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't like anybody from Golden State. I sure as hell don't like, Green. But he was talking
Draymond
about Paul
Green.
Pierce.
Wait, keep your NBA thing up. Let's call Lance right now.
Okay.
We're gonna call him. We said we're gonna call him. We're gonna bring him on the show as we have. As it's still 1-0 Cleveland.
And I think you called me and I didn't answer because I don't answer numbers I don't know.
Sorry.
So Lance, sorry about that.
We're going to call you right now on speakerphone. Is he on speaker?
Yeah, he's on speaker.
Because now we're in our NBA talk here. We said we weren't going to talk NBA, but we're going to talk it just for a little bit.
Hey Lance, how's it going? It's James and oh boy.
Hey, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, sir. How you doing today, sir?
Now, how are you doing, man? We miss you, bro.
I miss you guys too, man. I wish I was feeling a little bit better so I could be there. I hate not being at the show today, man.
That's all right. But we're talking the NBA right now, so give us your 2-minute NBA hype and no hype.
My 2-minute hype is everything Westbrook all the time. Westbrook is the only one who can say that he can sit at the dinner table with Will Chamberlain and say that I had a 20-20-20 game. You know what that feels like. And then he's the only person at the table when it comes to having 3 straight triple-double seasons.
It's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. So for that not to matter, I mean, if it was easy, anybody can do it. But again, we need to win a championship. At the end of the day, 20, 30, 40 years from now, people are going to remember who Russell Westbrook was. And the guy that had triple doubles, and hopefully he got a championship. Or right now he doesn't have a championship. So.
Well, and unfortunately, that's the only reason we remember Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
Is for averaging triple-double one time. Everybody thought LeBron was going to be that guy, and then Russ did it not once, not twice, but 3 times back to back to back. It's unbelievable. We'll never see that again, and I can honestly say that. We'll never see that again.
Does Oscar have a ring?
Yes.
With the Knicks? He played with the Knicks, right?
Big O, does he have a ring? That's a good
You
question.
can Google that. I think he played with the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Big O played, I think he played in the ABA with the Cincinnati team.
Okay.
I mean, that guy was a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and see, that's the whole thing. The way that guy played, I remember reading sports trivia books growing up, and just like the old, just the almanacs for everything basketball, everything. And I just learned about George Mikan and all. It seemed like all of the records were for Oscar Robertson and Will Chamberlain. They just had everything. So to be in a day and age where every time you're looking at TV, you're seeing another record being broken. We just got to learn just to appreciate what we're watching. And you can say, hey, the game has changed because of the hand checking and, the game is not played the same way. But the game has evolved. It's a good game. It's a great game. We got a whole new list of legends. So that's my NBA case because, we're about to enter into the best time of the year for me as a basketball fan, which is the playoffs. Everything gets turned up. Anybody can come out and win it. Well, that's a lie.
I'm gonna say nobody. That hasn't stood for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's looking good. I think this is the year that Giannis, puts a stamp on who he is. It's becoming getting to the point where it's becoming unanimous that he is the best player in the league right now, and so we'll see.
Over Durant?
Yes.
You can say over Durant?
Yes, over Durant. Slim Reaper's just that.
Hey,
Hey,
Reaper?
hey, but real quick though, Lance, listen, Oscar Robertson, him and Westbrook, I think have a lot in common. How big is Westbrook? You're a super fan. How big is Westbrook?
6'3".
Okay, what do you think he weighs? About 200?
More.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, if he weighs 200, maybe 201, 202.
Because I'm looking at Big O, and Big O is 6'5", 205 pounds. Played point guard, 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 1-time MVP, played 14 years, no ring.
Wow.
You as a Westbrook fan hope that similar stats, but just a ring.
But that's now. Are you a Westbrook fan because you wanted to win a ring in OKC, or are you okay with him if he ever was to leave? Which I don't think he will. I think he kind of cemented that he'll be that guy.
I agree.
I kind of see. To be as call me crazy, call me Noah before the earth got rain, and Noah was building the ark. I'm the dude that really believes that Westbrook is going to win and get a ring.
He could, absolutely.
He's going to win. He's going to find a way to win the ring. With that type of passion, all it takes is for him to be in the right system. If Michael Jordan went through the same thing, Kobe Bryant went through the same thing, and Russell Westbrook gets the same type of criticism that those two guys got. It's just a little bit more sophisticated because of the day and age that we're in. And I truly believe that with that type of passion, that he's going to end up getting the championship. He just needs to have the right coaching or the right system. So I don't see him ending up like Oscar Robertson, but I do see him ending up as in the class of the Kobe's and the Michaels and those type of guys. These guys are so iconic that you knew that Russell may not be the best player in the game, but you can't say that you don't want to see an Oklahoma City game. He's must see TV. So that's just my take on it. Well, that's my hype on Westbrook right now. And, like I said, the league is just it's its best time right now. We're about to see just a lot of great basketball. Denver is playing great basketball. Toronto, like I said, is playing great basketball. We're gonna see if Miami can find a way to extend Dwayne Wade's season. It's greatness. Harden and Chris Paul got something to prove this year. So I'm all hyped up. I'm all jacked up about the NBA. And I know you guys probably already talked about baseball, but baseball has got me a little hyped up with all this money that's going around, and these guys are stepping up playing. It's just sports in general. This is a good time to be a sports fan. You're about to enjoy a lot of good stuff. The Masters in a couple of weeks. It's just great stuff.
Absolutely,
Yep.
It absolutely is, and it's funny that you bring up baseball because we talked for 2 seconds, got on a tangent, haven't gone back to it yet. And Lance, you did mention it though. You talked about all this great basketball is getting ready to start, and you didn't even mention LeBron James. Like, how awesome is that the basketball season is going so well and everybody's excited, and the Lakers have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
LeBron's got nothing to do with it. That will show you that even though he's the greatest, or with Mike, okay, that when he leaves, the league's in good hands, and he won't be like, oh no, we don't have a LeBron. The league will survive without LeBron James.
That's a
The
great
league
point.
will survive without the Lakers.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that was one of the reasons why that the league went through a little lull right after Michael left, because you didn't know who the league hands were in. You seen a lot of and-one or street ball players that looked like
It was so bad.
guys who lacked discipline. And then you had the only player who showed you a ray of hope was Kobe, and he emulated everything that Michael did. So a lot of people were turned off because of that, because they thought they were just seeing another version of Michael Jordan. Was the point? We're going to end up seeing a whole league of Michael Jordans all over again. And then inserts LeBron James, who is Magic Johnson. It's like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan having a baby. You got KD, who is a freak of nature, 7-foot dude that has a handle that's out of this world, that can shoot anywhere, out of any country, shoot out of all countries and area codes. He just has that type of range. Then you get guys, these freaks inserted in like Derrick Rose, and then the Westbrooks, and then James Harden, and you got Giannis. So you got all this beauty coming along. You got these rookies coming along, Luka Doncic.
That's my boy right there.
The league is prospering. It's beautiful, man.
It is. It's a wonderful time to be a basketball fan, even if your team's terrible, like the Cavs or the Suns.
Right.
But it is. If you're big into basketball, like the season's long.
Yeah.
And all these boys are being babies now. Like all these wannabe fighting with Bledsoe and Embiid. I did like him throwing the ball and hitting Embiid in the stomach.
When
he
did
got
that-
in
when
just a
was
couple
that?
days ago.
Okay, I
and
missed
they
that.
got ejected. But it's like, throw some fists.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. Cat got sort of headlocked, sort of, the other night by Justice Winslow. I mean, he was like holding him so he didn't fall, and then once he realized he had his hand around his neck, He let go, and then Cat waited until they were separated and then got mad. Come on, dog. You're 7 foot. You're 7 foot. Get mad. Get mad like the 80s get mad.
Oh my God.
Trash. I'm sick of this.
Yeah. Wait, real quick. Bases loaded. Carlos Santana at the dish.
Indians
And
game,
it's
it's
3-2.
Full count.
Full
Uh-oh.
count. We've got a game on in the background as well. But I want to
Man,
just.
I wish I was at there. I wish I was there. I know James' man cave is awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
We can do this whenever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
hey, we can come back whenever
You
we
guys
want,
come
bro.
back whenever you want.
Yeah, man.
The garage is open.
Final Four every weekend over at James' house.
There we
There you
go.
go.
So man, yeah, man. Well, man, you guys sound like you guys are having an outstanding show, man. And like I said, there ain't too much more to talk about with the NBA. You know, we just got to get ready to put the seatbelt on. Hope everybody, everybody's pretty much who's gonna be in the playoffs is already, placed, their spot. So
Yep.
there's really no surprises besides who lands in what spot. And like I said, our West is pretty much, the Warriors and the Rockets are the ongoing favorites. Again, Seth, I know that you want to talk about the Nuggets all the time, but the Nuggets, they're a good team, but they're not looking like they're the ones that might make it to the finals.
They're not there yet.
We
They're
just
not
got to
there
give them
yet.
some hype because they get no hype.
They do get
at
no
all.
hype. They won't
Like,
get any
no one
hype. They
talks
hardly
about
got
it at all.
hype when they had Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Yep. But I do want to mention something that you had said to Lance, actually you, James, as well. The state of the NBA. LeBron James on the back end of his career. He maybe has 3 years left, and you guys are right. The NBA is gonna be just fine.
Yep.
Without LeBron, he's made it to the playoffs 13 years in a row. First year not there in a long time. And you guys are right. The NBA is fine. We can talk about the playoffs without mentioning LeBron.
Yep, it's very interesting.
And be okay with it. And I'm that's good.
I'm
It's
good
great
with
for
it.
the
I'm
league.
good with it.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way until you guys literally just brought it up right now. So that's all I got. The NBA.
LeBron is like the Patriots, man. Sometimes you can get LeBron fatigue.
Sure.
Still last year, but it's one of the things he did a good job. He bridged us to where we are now. Now it's time to see some fresh blood, man.
Yep, I agree. All right, man. Lance, thanks for your hype, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy the No Hype Zone, y'all.
All right,
Yeah.
Lance, and we'll see you. I'm hoping next week.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. Can't wait, sir.
All right, take it easy.
All right, buddy. Later.
All right. Take it easy.
Hold on, real quick. We're watching this Cleveland game. Hanley Ramirez is up to bat because Carlos Santana just struck out. 2 outs, 3-0 favorable count. Here comes the pitch. Ooh,
Oh,
he caught that as a
really?
strike. That's,
I mean, it was close,
that's
but
close. They might
look,
be showing that.
he's smiling.
And,
He's
and
like,
here's one guy. Hanley was on the Red Sox. I can't stand him, man. He takes so long in the box. He's such like a lazy player.
hold on,
just
hold on.
so annoying.
You're giving grief, and you're a Sox fan. Did
Yes.
you guys have who's my dude that played forever?
Ortiz,
No, long before that. Played
Ramirez, or the other,
Way back.
Manram.
no before that. He was wasn't he a shortstop or third baseman? Like in the 90s.
Garciaparra?
Garciaparra, man, forever. Click, 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 click. Oh,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you're really gonna give this guy grief?
Yes.
Did you give him grief back then?
No.
Okay,
Because
well, you were
I-
younger too,
because-
though.
Yes, yeah.
You were
yeah.
younger too. Your
Yeah.
sports, your
My
sports palate
knowledge, yes.
had gotten better over time.
So hold on. So we got a 3-2 pitch here, 2 outs, bottom third, bases juiced here for Hanley
Let's
Ramirez.
go.
Let's see what happens here. So
Let's go. It's a nice sunny day in Cleveland.
Yeah. What's
Look,
the
it's
temperature?
beautiful
You
out.
think?
Probably 65 degrees.
Okay.
They're in sweaters.
Okay. Ooh, he
Walked in a run.
walked in a run.
We'll take that. 2-0.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
So
fair enough. So
we
let's
got
go
one
back
last
to our,
thing.
let's go back to our baseball.
Okay.
Because we tried to talk about it and then we kind of
we got on
which
tangents.
is okay, and that's okay. But that's really what water cooler sports does. You talk about one thing, and then it kind of bridges to something else, So we had the first week of baseball, because we were talking, in our prep is like the slow
Bat
starts.
flip.
Well, the slow starts for
starts.
some teams, My Red Sox are 2-8. They just got creamed by the Diamondbacks last night. No pitching. We literally have 0 pitching,
And the Yankees have been trash, which I'm good with.
which is great. I'm cool with that too.
I'm good with that. You got Houston was struggling, Cleveland. Now I think we're 4-3, but we had to win 2 in a row to get to 4-3.
Yeah.
Like it's a. Granted, baseball's a long season.
And
it takes a lot
and
of
all
time.
these media types are like falling over themselves, like, oh my god, the Red Sox
turn on,
are
wow,
2-6.
wow.
Holy cow! It's like, guys, I mean, Alex Cora had to talk to the media and be like, "Hey guys, calm down.
It's a long season.
It's a
We
long
have to
season.
relax."
Yes. But let's go back to that Bryce Harper flip.
Dude,
Fantastic.
perfect that it was in Washington. I thought he was classic because he gave him a big thank you before,
He did.
and they booed him, which you do. They do. I'm okay with that.
Actually, there's an over and under on boos on Bryce Harper's first game that he's with in Philly. It was like 2 at bats. After his 3rd at bat, they booed him because he struck out twice or something like
Yep.
that and grounded out.
Yep, and then
So-
he's going to hit. I think he's going to hit close to 50 home runs this year.
I
That
hope so.
stadium in Philly.
I hope so. He's on my
such
fantasy
a
team.
hitter's park.
I've got him on my fantasy team. Another guy whose team name is the Bryce is right. He's a Bryce Harper
I like
nerd.
it.
He was like, "I'll trade you Mookie Betts for Bryce Harper."
No. I know
I'm
Mookie's
so
your guy 'cause you're
close.
in Boston.
Yes,
Use
I'm
your,
so
Use your
close.
head, not your heart.
But I've heard the opposite. It's like, hey, Mookie will get you. He'll get you a high batting average. He'll get you more singles and doubles. Maybe he won't get you the home runs. Maybe not get you the runs or the RBIs. I'm so torn because he declined the trade, or he gave it to me. I declined it. He gave it back to me.
Base knock. Gonna score 1.
Scored 2.
You're gonna bring in 2?
There it is.
There it is,
you go.
4-0. Now that should be sufficient enough for the Indians to actually maybe win this game because they don't put up a lot of runs, and their pitching doesn't give up a lot of runs. So it's like if we don't score 2 or more runs, we're gonna lose every game.
Dang.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule at the rosters. The Royals 2-4, Red Sox 2-7, the Angels 2-6, the Astros.
Angels have
2-5.
scored like no runs. They have 0 run support.
The
so
Cubs
far.
are 1-6. The Cubs
Really?
are 1-6. They've lost 6 in a row. They won
Oh.
opening day and just
And that
been
was
getting
it.
spanked.
Oh no.
The Giants are 2-6. The Rockies are 3-5. I mean, these were teams that were deep in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's early. We're in the first week of the
Yes.
season. Guys are injured. I mean, I look at this Indians team and I'm looking at it going, okay, well, we're missing Kipnis, we're missing Lindor, we're missing Zimmer, we're missing a lot of guys.
And speaking of injuries, the Yankees
Bad.
had 10 guys on the DL.
They can stay.
10
They
guys.
can stay.
I know. That's crazy, man. This early in the season, Kershaw's still in the DL. I have him on my fantasy. He's on the DL still. So Keuchel hasn't been signed yet.
Which is odd.
But yeah,
That
man.
is so weird. That
I don't
he's not
understand
signed.
that.
Does he want too much money? Maybe. Maybe he doesn't. Although he may not want to sign with. I'm going to sign with 3 teams, and if they're not willing to, if they're not ready, I'll just wait it out.
Mhm.
Maybe that's what he's waiting for. Postseason run,
Kimbrel hasn't signed yet.
which is strange.
Yeah, he's a good closer.
That's
I
real
understand.
weird.
Is it
That
a
is
money
really
thing, or
weird.
that's why I gotta get Dennis. I gotta get Dennis on the show to talk like stuff like that. Why they're not signing? Like, what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
numbers
Is it the
thing?
market? Is it them? Is it there's younger guys that cost less that analytics say we can do better with, or everybody's just kind of waiting to see for the first injury? And it could be that too. It could be agents putting the word out there. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's what they do. Hey, my guy's not looking to sign until after July.
Yeah.
Or my guy's working through an injury and he's not going to be prepared. I don't really want to throw that out there, but I mean, or he's just wanting to spend some family time and he's going to wait for a contender
Right.
that needs pitching towards the signing deadline, whatever it may be.
Sure, because arms do fall off towards the end of the
People get
season when you guys are
Baseball.
Yeah.
You want to make a deep run, you got to have pitching.
Well, speaking of that, Cleveland guy, was it not Carrasco, but who's your other guy? Trevor Bauer, I think, had a no-hitter going into the 7th.
I got it written right here.
117 pitches. And in the 7th, they have to pull off.
They did. And the insight on that, Terry Francona, when he came out, the quote
They
was...
extended his contract, by the way. Good for
Yeah,
them.
they extended just long enough for when Lindor leaves, he can retire.
Fair enough.
But Bauer, he walked up to Bauer and said, I hate having to do this. And
Mhm.
Trevor said, me too, but I get it.
You have to.
Like, I can go more, but we're early. It's early in the year. What if we teach something? We've got to, it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
And then on the flip side of that, because he had 9 Ks, he was rocking.
Yeah.
The next day, Bieber pitches, Shane Bieber, and he strikes out 9 through 8 innings and throws 81 pitches. Gave up
A
2
little more
runs,
efficient,
2
yeah.
hits,
Yeah.
but 81 pitches versus 117. Now, I will say this, Bauer, I felt like was not getting, because he's loud, and I like that about him. He's very brash. I like that about him. I don't know how the umpires, I think he has to really be in the, he's not getting leeway. I don't think he's getting that outside corner. I don't think he's getting that. I think they're going out to ball.
Okay.
Because I watched it, and there was,
Gotcha.
and towards the end, he had a couple of pitches that were,
He's not getting the
fatigued,
close
but
ones
he wasn't
called,
getting
yeah.
the close ones called.
Okay.
And instead of going, okay, he'd let you know. Was it low? Was I outside? You got to tell me where it was at, because I swear I threw it there last inning and you called it a strike. So let's be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that he's growing up and saying, I didn't like it, but it was the right move and I agree with it.
Yeah.
Because Trevor Bauer 2 years ago would not have done that. He would have told him to go back in the dugout. You're not pulling me. You're not pulling me. I'm not coming out. Or he would have thrown a fit.
Yeah.
But I would too. He's that competitive. You don't want to be pulled, you know? And we haven't had a no-hitter in 38 years.
But is it really that important? I mean, what would you rather get, a win or a no-hitter? Like,
Well-
what gets you a trophy? A no-hitter or wins,
Oh,
ultimately?
Yeah, but that one win versus the one random win in April of 2019 versus having a no-hitter. 10 years from now, when they're like, oh yeah, you guys won your division. Yeah, it was just, it was a pretty good year. Did you throw a no-hitter that year? I did.
Yes, but
You
if you throw that no-hitter, then your arm falls off halfway through the season.
Yeah, no,
That's
that too.
That's the thing, man.
But then, well, you look at what they say with Bob Feller would have pitched the next day in a doubleheader and then would have went out and shot some Nazis because he fought in World War. So it's
really?
like he was.
Okay.
Those guys threw 130 pitches and would bat and then be at work the next day. Like they didn't have what we do now, but they also weren't throwing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds throwing 90 pitches. Like the wear and tear wasn't there
Right.
for them to be able to do that, and they weren't throwing that hard, that fast. I mean, I think. I keep pointing because I have a Bob Feller autograph up there that my uncle gave me that I love, and it's, I mean, he threw heat, but I mean, his heat was probably like 96, 97, which is really fast, but like we got guys blowing 100.
Yeah, got more
Noah
guys.
Ryan
never
Express
throw.
was like 103 or something ridiculous, and it's like, you know, back then, and they were throwing like a different, it was just, you know, it was just a different game, different times. And I'm glad that we've held the majority of the way we do things with baseball, but like looking at this, it's like, we're still in the bottom of the third. But still, we've been talking for 15 minutes since then. We're still in the bottom of the third with 2 outs with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Of this game, that's what's the beauty about baseball. Baseball's like
They change pitchers too here. Ooh, he just hit him.
No, he almost hit him.
Right.
He should have taken that. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Should have taken that. You won't be on the team in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Morhoff. This guy
Yeah.
will not be on the team in 2 weeks. He'll be
Okay.
back down in Columbus or something.
Okay.
He should have taken one for the team.
Yeah. Okay.
That's me saying that. I've never stood inside the batter's box at 97 mile fastball.
No thanks.
I would probably
thanks.
piss myself.
Yeah. Well, speaking of baseball, I'm taking a pitch. What time is it? Because we can get just on. Okay, in 40 minutes, I got a softball game to play. Here's my squad right here.
Now, you can only go deep how many times before they count as outs?
We don't have that because we don't have. There's no fences. We play with a slosh ball, like a dead ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not hitting home runs?
No.
Okay.
Surprisingly, you know, as buff as I am, I can't hit the ball
Not hitting
very
the
hard.
ball very hard.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
crazy,
add some
man.
weight. It's a weight. You have no weight.
True. But I've been working with Patrick. I'm trying to get my swing down, so he's been
Oh!
helping. Ah.
No, man, it looked good as soon as I left the
Yeah.
bat, and then I realized it was more off. That guy does not have warning track power.
That's like me. I try to ooh, it looks far,
Yeah, it looks
and
great.
yeah, it's like halfway,
Oh.
down the right field
Hey,
line.
but 4. I'll take
Yeah.
4. I'll take 4 runs.
I guess. Well, with that being said, we were going to talk AEF football real quick, but we're kind of low on
We're
time.
out of time.
So I got to.
We'll save that. We'll save that because there's also some more and more information on that's trickling out.
Okay.
You know, they said it was kind of a financial situation. Then we're hearing it's not. Then we're hearing it was a complete shit show. Like guys were just, it was a mess. There was no organization. This is NFL GMs and people that were supposedly knowing what they were doing, putting it together. So how can you know what you're doing in the NFL to not knowing what you're doing here? Something doesn't add up.
They're saying about week 2 they're out of money.
And then I hear Phil Savage and some other guys that were like, that was never the issue.
Oh, okay.
The guys that didn't get paid, it sounds like somebody said it, and I can't give him credit, so I'm gonna feel bad, but I'm stealing this right now. He was like, it's like from The Office. A couple of people didn't get paid because there was a mishap in payroll. Like there was a mishap where some guys' direct deposits didn't go through. And I say some guys, it was quite a bit, but it happened to do. I think it had to do with the bank specifically. Like everybody was using Bank A, and it just didn't happen.
Okay.
Now the other stuff, them having to fly themselves home and all those things that I heard.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm waiting for more information to come out. It was gone too soon. I mean, Trent Richardson is the all-time leading rushing touchdown scorer in AAF history.
Well, they're 8 games in only, I think, right? 6 or 8 games in.
touchdowns.
Really?
11 touchdowns.
Boy, can he hold on to the ball though? It's like he's weird. It's like he
They're
can
not
run
sure.
really fast, but then once he gets the ball in his hand, he forgets how to run.
He still can't see the hole, which was hilarious. You even break down film on this, and there's like a gap that I could drive my truck through, and he's running the opposite way. Because instead of like seeing it and then going, oh, I'm following the play, he just follows the play instead of going, oh, I can cut here because it's there. No creativity.
It's too bad.
No vision.
Well,
Dreads in the way.
right.
Can't see.
Also want to mention, next week, Ohio State spring game. We are in the hype here when we talk Ohio State because we
It's
are
a new
both
day.
Ohio State. I see what you did there. I
Ryan
see what you
Day.
did. Yeah.
First
So,
spring game.
we'll be watching that.
He's got the juice.
Where do you want to watch that? Do you want to watch that next week?
Yeah.
Somewhere?
Let's do it. Watch it here. I got Big Ten Network.
We can do that. I have a softball game next week at 3 o'clock. Hopefully that game is.
I'm over before.
I can do
Because
that.
the
Hey, how about this?
game-
Maybe we can film the show and this
And
here
that.
again, and we can do all
Yeah,
that
sure.
at the same time.
Why not?
I don't see
Works
why.
for me.
Yeah.
Get with
yeah.
Lance. Hopefully he's feeling better. Lance, hope you're feeling better. We need you over here next week. You'll bring some energy to this room.
Yes. Right on. We're 55
55
minutes
minutes
in.
in.
Okay.
So I think we're done, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So for
Signing off, I'm Seth. This
James.
is James. Don't forget about his podcast called
James Out West.
James Out West, coming soon. Or
Yeah.
Put
Soon
this
to
up
the
there, man.
podcast ville near you.
Right on.
All right.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
We'll see you next week.